I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to do this recording and the sharing of this video right next to a street. So you'll be hearing all kind of noise in the background coming out, and those are exactly the noise that I hear while I'm recording. I've contemplated about using AI to generate voice from text, but in my own personal stand, I'm shunning anything that has to do with AI when it comes to photography. So many things have changed in my own personal experience since 2011. That was the year I started doing portraits, and I've been doing a lot of portraits ever since. But in the most recent observation that I have about myself, and even among some of my friends, is that we are downsizing a lot more than we thought we would. In my most recent trip to Kyoto, I'm carrying just 2 compact cameras, each attached to a lens that I will not be removing. So it's basically a camera with 2 prime lens, and despite being interchangeable, it's just being used as is. I found the experience to be truly enjoyable. The weight was negligible and walking around was so much more simpler. So I found myself just focusing on the trip itself, not so much on the weight of the gears. And despite all this talk about full frame, APS-C, micro four third, I've tried all of them. Currently, I still have an APS-C, which is these 2 cameras that I brought to Kyoto. I have a full frame, which is a Sony a7S III, and I also have a medium format. But the whole point is, there's something wrong with photography today. And if we look at it, and we look at the social media pressure and trend that's happening around us, we have to beg the questions. What is the purpose of us shooting? Isn't there enough images in the world? Of course there is. But I think as an enthusiast, as a hobbyist when it comes to using photography for our free time, there's much more to it. There's things about photography that could not be touched by AI, that could not be touched by anything out there, because it's something very personal between you and the scenery that you're looking at, or at the moment you're looking at and taking the camera up and taking that picture. But overall, the images that you see in Kyoto here, they are taken when I'm just walking around and I just manual focus. It's really easy. I just look to the lens, I focus, and just press right. And I took a lot of it, a lot of this type of photos. There are also photos whereby I just put it on my waist level. I put it around f2.8, sometimes f4, on this 17mm, which is equivalent to 25 in full frame, and just snap away. And this has been the way I've been shooting all along. There's so much I wanted to share, and these images that I took on this Leica CL camera, to me, I could have taken in any other camera. It makes no difference. Just that 2 dials that are built in such a rugged and solid way. It's just amazing. I mean, this kind of body is just amazing. I would say I'm disappointed that Leica discontinued this, because if they didn't, I probably wouldn't be able to acquire the second one at a very good price, at a used price. But they discontinue, meaning that it just shows that the mainstream is very different, right? The majority of people, they look at the spec, I want full frame, and they jump into it. But I think as photographers, we really need to ask ourselves, do we need them? I'll be sharing my Instagram link down there with one special post in there. You don't have to follow my Instagram. It doesn't matter. Just look at those photos in social media. They are shot on a 4 megapixel camera. Right? No editing whatsoever, just maybe exposure and some contrast. When I say no editing, means no special preset applied to it. And you look at it, and on Instagram actually, even 4 megapixel is more than sufficient, right? This is the D2X, and this is the hood. Without the hood, it's actually much even smaller. This is the APS-C camera in 2009 and 2012. I mean, along those 2 years, this is also released. And I took this strap here from a Mamiya, I believe it's a Mamiya 16 automatic. It's like a sub-miniature spy camera, and it has this beautiful strap on it. And I took it and I put it into this camera. I was saying like, man, that Mamiya was sold for almost nothing, and buying this strap alone is totally worth it. Some wording, I think it's representing Mamiya there. This type of experience is exactly what I enjoy using something like Leica CL M9 or RX1 and one of these compact cameras, right? Today, of course, people have GR, but I have not moved to that yet. But this camera is 4 megapixel, right? And it's kind of nonsense. And it makes ridiculous sound. You hear that sound? I posted on my Instagram and someone said it looks like someone was groaning. But this camera is so quirky and so hard to use. The focus was so bad. But amazingly, these are the cameras that when I dig it out and I use it right, I had so much fun using it. It's like regardless of the output, which I share on the Instagram below, have a look at it. Regardless of output, it's just so amazing. And this is 2009. So what is it that we have today in 2023 that is... No, I feel that people are lost, right? In the midst of all the AI that's coming out, that's assisting them in focusing, assisting them in making decisions on how to shoot, even AI in helping them to edit. I feel all these are, in a way, they're great for commercial use, but as a hobbyist, all these are pointless. Okay, all these are pointless. Let me show you how this focusing looks like. Okay. You see here? So I think the bottom up here is for focus. Oh, sorry. Down here for setting grid. There's only 9. Can you see? There's only 9 points you can move to. But it's actually sufficient. Right? It's actually sufficient, and it was such a joy using it that that it makes the so-called discontinued Leica CL look like a god camera, because this guy could focus much better, right? Has so much other lenses. So the whole point of this sharing is just really to tell you that forget about what's happening around you. Forget about the AI. Forget about the threat they're throwing at you, right? Take your camera, whichever camera it is. In fact, have fun. Look out for some of these useless camera, but hopefully you don't drive the price up on eBay. Go out and have fun and shoot and develop them. If you're sharing Instagram, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, Instagram is such a lousy platform for photographers. Anything actually works, but maybe that's the point of it. It doesn't care about your resolution, doesn't care about whether it's AI generated or you edited it for 10 hours or straight up JPEG. But as a photographer, right, as a hobbyist photographer, that we make this our hobby, we spend time on it in travel, with our family, with our loved ones, with your friends, with the models, influencers. You want the camera to have a beat sufficient. And I would say that almost all cameras that was published, maybe even after 2005, was sufficient.